Welcome to another episode of Ironhome, the only Starforged actual play that doesn't actually play Starforged. I will never get tired of saying that. Today we have Session 5 of Mechs vs. Aliens. In the last episode, wait, let's do this by the book. I've got a little bit of a nose situation going on here, so ignore me. Please try to bear with me if I sniff a little bit. It's very cold over here. So let's do this by the book. Let's go and do the session moves. Let's make a beginner session. When you begin a significant session, identify flag content, review or recap what happened last session. So last session, we encountered members of the Awakened Circle in the wild. We saw these people that have either, we believed, had eaten alien substances or alien bodies and somehow melded with the aliens and their technology. But what it turned out to be, as we saw at the end of the episode, it was that the aliens themselves were experimenting and injecting and testing stuff on them and then letting them loose in the wild. So that was interesting. After we fled from that scene, we arrived at the Iron Pact faction that has made their base in a destroyed or a defeated alien ship that's kind of like collapsed into the jungle. We were very happily received, as the information that we had was very useful. And after that, we headed towards after we took a little rest there, we headed towards an alien security base that was nearby, which is kind of like where the Iron Pact is siphoning data and information, and that's kind of how that's their big target. We headed there to infiltrate and obtain a specific code we need to decrypt the data that we got. We left Artemis behind. Well, we did the whole journey over there, and then we left Artemis behind and began sneaking in to this alien security base, as we said. So we will leave the spotlighting and danger for the end, and we will set the scene by envisioning your character's current situation and intent. So what I'm thinking, I'm going to use the derelict tables for this to represent. So basically, a derelict would normally be like a destroyed spaceship, an abandoned spaceship, or something of the sort. But in this case, I will use it to represent the... Oh, it can also be a settlement, I believe. Interesting. Ooh, random zones. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to roll on that. So it's a settlement, but obviously it's not a derelict. There are people here. There are aliens working here. So let's go ahead and see the Axis area. So let's imagine that we saw in the last episode that Faye was sliding down and getting inside. Let's just skip by the boring part of, oh, how did she get in, climb through the fans? We don't know. We don't care. We're inside. Let's see how we're getting inside. Let's make this interesting. We've already got a progress track for this. Infiltrate the alien base. Let's go ahead and roll some things here. Let's roll. But for that, let's first change the music. Now, this time, I did previously think of picking the music beforehand, and I gotta stop playing that one to save us time. I was also toying with the idea of like pausing the game, looking for the perfect song, and then resuming, but there might be like a weird cut there, and you'll be like, wait, Sophia, you said you don't edit. You've been lying to us all this time. Anyway, we'll experiment with that, no worries. Because I do love a good music. All right, so this music's perfect for like, I imagine like an air vent being popped open or something. But let's see where we are. Let's let the dice decide. Hub or intersection? That really doesn't give me much. Let's see a feature. A corpse. Okay, no, let's not go with that. Let's re-roll these two. Airlock or external. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, so yeah, we basically see... Apologize for that. We basically see, like, one of these alien-looking... Obviously, it's not a Actually, no, we're not going to pop it open, are we? I think we're going to be moving through it. So let's just say that, yeah. Our adventure, our delve, our journey starts with, we see Faye on all fours sliding through these alien air vents. That says airlock or external, but I guess we just went with duct. I just went with air duct. I didn't think of reading that airlock. But the answer above does say crawl space or duct. So let's go with that. We're crawling through. And on our path, we see a little bit of some abandoned alien fixing gear. Apparently, some of these places have needed some patching and something. All right, so without further ado, let's make our first exploration move as we make our way through these air ducts. Let's go ahead and we're probably... Oh, this is hard. We're definitely keeping under the radar, but we're also staying vigilant. I'm gonna say I'm gonna stay vigilant, because right now no one knows I'm here, so I don't have to sneak too much. I'm definitely not moving at speed. So let's see what happens. It's a weak hit. All right. So let's mark some progress in that. Actually, let's make this... Let's remove the progress, and let's make this dangerous. I like it. All right. Suffer costs en route or face a peril at a waypoint. All right. Let's see what peril we face. First, let's see where we are. Let's see what kind of area we're in. We're in a research area. That makes perfect sense. Okay, so we're still in the ducts for now, but we are kind of moving through the research area. We can hear things, we can see things when we're peeking out through little holes there. Let's see what kind of area we're in and what kind of peril we might encounter. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so basically, I'm going to say that we're going through the air ducts, and then ahead of us, we hear a noise in distance. And as we get closer, we can see that some kind of tube or something has snapped or broken, and there's like a some kind of gas coming out in front of us. It's, I'm gonna say, purplish in color, and it's just non-stop starting to fill the vent. And as we're like start coughing, and we start to kicking on the airlock to get out of here. So that's going to be a move. This is going to be a face danger with Iron to get out of this air vent before this toxic gas, or whatever it is. We don't actually know what this gas does. Maybe it's some kind of tube going somewhere, and it seems to have broken. Let's go ahead and make Iron. It's a weak hit. You succeed, but not without cost. Okay, so we take a little bit of health damage as we kick open this weird shaped, because aliens love weird shapes, like air vent, and we drop down into this room, and we're just coughing. and we just cough for a bit, and then we take a little bit of damage from this strange gas, and we look up, and we're in a cold storage room. And in this room, we immediately see, like, dong, 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 you know those horror movies with dong, 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 dong. You see all the different shots of the room, and we see humans frozen in vats. And we step a little closer, and we see that they are definitely have been experimented on. And this is the moment where Faye realizes the connection between the people she met, the Awakened Circle, and the aliens themselves. Or maybe she thinks maybe the aliens have been capturing the awakened ones. There's obviously something going on here, and she'll definitely take a moment to take some pictures so that we can report this back. But it's a very horrid scene. I'm going to say that at least one spirit is lost, and we can endure some stress to see how that goes. It's a miss. It's worse than you thought. Suffer an additional one spirit. We come across one of these cold tubes and we see a member of our faction, a member of the Sentinels. What was the full name? I never organized this properly. I left it in people. Or did I leave it in places? Yes, Sentinels of the Fallen Order. I need to move that around. And yeah, we see one of the members there, and Faye gasps. You know, it was a person that had been sent on a mission several months ago and never returned. And they were thought to be dead, killed in action. But here they are, and they're just horribly mutated, like transformed into this creature. And Faye just gasps, putting her hands to her mouth as she just steps back at seeing this very powerful image. But nonetheless, she continues to make her way through. And let's continue being vigilant through this base. Ooh, it's a miss, but I'm going to burn momentum and turn it into a weak hit. So, we make progress. And we must make a suffer move. Let's see what the peril could be. We were still in research. So let's see what area we're in. No longer cold storage. A new zone. Okay. Let's see what new zone. Engineering. We're now in engineering. No, not a new zone, thank you. A vehicle bay or garage. Okay, that sounds interesting. Jury-rigged equipment. Shrouded atmosphere. Precarious or broken path. Interesting. Okay, so we're definitely in some kind of... We leave the research area, and we're definitely now in a vehicle bay or garage. We see these smallish alien ships, like one of the ones that flew earlier and tried to chase us. They are definitely parked here. There's definitely movements and guards. We see some people working, and I think what makes most sense to lose here, as much as it hurts me, is momentum. I'm going to say we lose momentum as we just try to wait for the right moment. You know, we lose a lot of time here as we're sneaking past these people. I'm not going to make a move for it because I just really don't want to immediately get caught right now. If I make a move, I might get a miss, and then it's a whole thing. So let's say that happens. We take a long time here, too long, and we lose momentum for it. We have to pause, we have to watch, we have to run from one crate to another, and eventually we get past this vehicle bay. So let's continue moving and see how well it goes. It's a strong hit. Excellent. You reach a waypoint, envision the location, and mark progress. We're doing great. We're doing great. It's wonderful. Let's see. Area. New zone via access. Okay. Sure thing. That's a lot of new zones. Operations. All right. Operations. Just close that up. And via access. Okay, let's see what kind of access. Crawl space or duct. Nah, we've been there. A corridor. Yeah, sure. Why not? We're going to corridor. And no, stop it. Stop it. There we go. A lounge area. Interesting. And what feature do we find here? A map of a site. That is perfect. Log offers insight into this site's downfall. Okay, no. A map of the site is perfect. I think here we can definitely do an explorer waypoint. When you divert from an expedition to examine another location. Yeah. Let's try and see if we can get an advantage. We're gonna... This lounge, which is like a rest area normally, has this big map on the wall, and we're gonna stop sneaking for just a little bit to walk over to this map and see if it gives us an idea of where the kind of main computer would be, where we can stick in this flash drive, this alien flash drive, and get the data, the code we need. So let's go ahead and explore this waypoint with wits. I don't believe I have any asset that helps. No. It's a weak hit. You uncover something interesting, but it is bound up in peril. It reveals an ominous aspect of this place. Envision what you encounter, then take +1 momentum. All right. Interesting. Bound up in peril. It reveals an ominous aspect of this place. Let's roll on some oracles. And if we don't come up with anything, we can just leave it for later. Challenge Dominion. Toxic organism. That's interesting. Okay, I think what we find out is that this isn't a security outpost, as we had originally thought. It's also not just a research facility, as we found with these cold storage places. This is a factory. And in this factory, they are making mutants. That's where Faye goes. Oh my God, they're making them here. And she looks at this map. She looks at it, and there's like one section that is basically just like the factory grounds. And from what we've obviously throughout the years during this war developed some kind of translation technology. She's got a little small smartphone thing, and she's scanning this, and she puts together all the pieces of what you can see on this map. And this is a factory of mutants. And then she remembers the vehicle bay. It was a pretty big bay, and it was mostly empty. Suddenly, Faye gets like a sinking feeling in her gut. She doesn't quite know what all this information together might mean, but she knows it's bad, and she takes a few steps back and continues to run. Continues to make her way, not run, but she quickly steps away and continues to delve in this facility. Things are getting interesting. All right. Let's go with wits. Oh no! A miss with a match. The worst has happened. You're waylaid by a crisis or arrive at a waypoint to confront an immediate hardship or threat. Do not mark progress and pay the price. Now, this is perfect because I was talking about this on the Discord the other day, about talking about like enjoying bad things happening. So I had an idea of what might happen if something bad happened, and I think a miss with a match merits this. So I'm going to say that we are making our way through one of these corridors, and it's suspicious how quiet everything is, how few aliens we've encountered other than a few here and there, when all of a sudden huge metal doors shut in front of us, and then we quickly turn around, and behind us as well, we're locked in about a 50-meter length room, when all of a sudden purple gas begins to fill the room. I think this is it. I don't think there's a way out of here. Now, I'm gonna leave it up to the Oracle, because I feel like I don't enjoy deciding too much, because I feel like when I let the randomness come through, things get really interesting. But when I preemptively think about ideas, I kind of get bored. So I'm gonna say that there is a small chance of an exit here. This is an alien facility that's probably prepared. They're at war, so there's a very small chance that there might be a way out of here. There is no way out of here. Faye takes out her gun, her pistol, starts shooting at the walls, shooting at anything she can. She looks around, she's coughing, she's covering her face with her hands. She's trying not to breathe in the gas. She's banging on the walls, she's panicking, she's cursing at the aliens, and then blackness. Everything goes dark. Faye begins to wake up. She tries to breathe, but all she hears is bubbles. Her eyes take a bit adjusting. Everything seems blurry. She tries to move her arms and they're stuck to something. Her legs are also stuck to something. She moves around her neck. She can see that she's inside some kind of vat. Some kind of large medical tube. The blurriness is because of the liquid she is currently submerged in. And outside of this vat, she can see several of these crustacean aliens looking at her. Some of them are typing away at some kind of alien computer with all their many fingers. Another one is looking straight at her. We can see that there seem to be other vats in distance, but as things get further away, everything gets blurrier, so she can only see what's really close to her. One of the aliens gives a kind of like hand signature and mumbles something in this alien language that comes all through, like she can barely hear it. And then she can hear something. She looks to the side and we can see this inside the liquid machinery, tubes coming in everywhere. And we see this large needle. She begins to shake violently, and the needle hits her in the side, and we see this strange liquid going inside of Faye's body. She screams as hard as she can. Her scream dampened out by the liquid, just coming out as the pain is terrible, as if it's just a burning sensation spreading out throughout her whole body. The pain is so terrible that she faints, and blackness comes once more. She awakens later in some kind of medical facility of sorts. The very same table that we saw in the last episode, where one of these creatures was being prodded and tested and so forth. Perhaps, for whatever reason, Faye seems to have awoken. She opens her eyes, looks around. She sees 4 tables down. There is an alien experimenting on some other kind of mutant that the rest of the other mutants in this bay are all asleep. She looks around at her body. There doesn't seem to be anything different. She doesn't know how long she's been out. how much time has passed. Maybe hours. Probably days. She looks down at her wrist to see if she still perhaps has her watch attached, or like a smart watch kind of thing. Perhaps the aliens did not remove that, and perhaps it is still functioning. I'm gonna say yes, because otherwise I don't see another way out of this. I've pushed myself so much into the corner with this. I just love this idea so much that now it's like, okay, I'm gonna say yes. Our little smartwatch is working. She kind of like looks at it and fiddles with it a little bit. Let's do that. Let's go for tension. Let's see if she can fiddle enough with it to kind of like unstrap it with one hand and get, because normally you do like this, so she needs to. Let's go ahead and make a face danger, and I'm gonna say, this is probably Shadow. All right, so let's go ahead and face danger with Shadow. This is gonna be bad. This is gonna be terrible. I love this. This is very tense. We're lying there. We're trying to be very quiet. This other alien's 4 tables away, cutting away at this mutant that is either dead or asleep or something. And we're just trying to get to our little watch that we're praying is still working, you know, and let's see what happens. Oh, come on. Another miss with a match? That is 2 misses with a match in a row. There is no way. A fail or a momentary success is undermined by a dire turn of events. Oh my god. Okay. What can we do? This is so bad. This is so very, very bad. Roll twice! Oh, come on! You want to waste resources you are delayed or put at a disadvantage. Okay, I'm gonna say the following happens. She's trying to fiddle. She's fiddling with the watch, and it's not coming out. The alien puts down some tools, walks over to the other table, and continues to look at this other one. And now this alien's not just, it's not experimenting on, it's just opening some consoles and looking at some things. And it maybe takes a bit 5 minutes and then stops, begins to walk over to the next table. Now it's 2 tables away, and we just begin to lose spirit. And she's fiddling with it, and she's fiddling with it. And we lose 1 spirit. We lose 2 spirit. We lose 3 spirit in total, and we have to endure stress. So here goes. Heart of 1. It's a miss. If your spirit is 0, you must also mark shaken. So we are definitely shaken in this situation. And we lose another 2 momentum. Things are looking really bad for us right now. If your spirit is 0, you must also... Okay. So we've marked shaken. The alien is now on the table next to us. And finally, because like the face danger says, or a momentary success is undermined by dire turn of events. So the situation becomes extremely stressful, but we're able to get the watch out. I think 3 stress for a miss with a match is a heightened outcome. That's classic. We press the button, the alarm button on this watch, and then beep, 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 beep. Artemis comes to our aid. When you face danger by handing over control to the AI or to summon the vehicle remotely within a hazardous situation, you may roll integrity. So we are going to roll integrity. And if you do, take +1 momentum. So we're going to face danger by rolling integrity. So let's roll integrity and hope this goes well. It's a strong hit. We take +2 momentum, 1 for the strong hit and 1 for summoning the AI. And as this alien finishes on the other one and begins to walk over to where we are, and we close our eyes, we grab the little watch into our hand, and the alien begins to... And it almost immediately senses something is wrong. It looks at us, and we obviously got our eyes closed, and then it begins to walk away. And it's walking away, and as it reaches the exit of the room, the doors just blast open, and we see Artemis coming straight for us. And the first words Artemis says, "Faye, what has happened?" And Faye says, "I'll tell you later. Get me out of here." And Artemis quickly, with very delicate and precise movements, almost rips off and everything holding Faye in place. Faye jumps into the mech, and now we gotta get the hell out of here. So let's put some action music. We still gotta do what we came to do. So we climb into Artemis, and now we are moving through this facility with speed. I'm gonna keep the track where it was, and I'm gonna say that we are now moving with speed. Alarms are going off. Everything is going to hell. So we're gonna undertake an expedition with edge. It's a weak hit. Okay, but we mark progress. And I'm gonna say that we went so quickly, we took off that we just forgot some of our stuff. When we were captured, we lost some of our stuff when we were captured. So off we go. Let's see where we were. We were definitely in the medical section, so let's just keep rolling there. Area. Yes, we were in a medical lab. Okay, so we're just basically running through this place. I think we have enough to try to roll and see if we get to where we are. Do we get to this computer place? Do we or do we not? So let's go ahead and make the progress roll to finish an expedition. Oh, come on. You're joking. We have failed to infiltrate the alien base. On a miss, your destination is lost to you, or you come to understand the true nature or cost of the expedition. Envision what happens and choose one. Abandon the expedition. Excuse me. Or return to the expedition. Roll both challenge dice, take the lowest value, and clear that number of progress boxes. Then raise the expedition's rank by 1. You know what? I'm gonna do that. Let's go ahead and roll both challenge dice, take the lowest value, and clear that number of progress boxes. So I'm gonna roll both challenge dice again. Oh, come on! Are you kidding me? And we have to clear 9 boxes. So basically all of the boxes have to be cleared. And now this is a formidable journey? Oh, wow. So what happens is the following. We are moving as fast as we can with Artemis. We see where we're headed. We're headed towards the core of this facility. And when we get there, we don't see what we expected to find. We expected to find a computer room with a big lab with everything. We find what appears to be an almost empty room until Artemis's scans. Artemis does a scan, like, we get to this seemingly empty room. Faye orders Artemis to do a scan of the room. And Artemis says that there is something beneath them. That the structure continues underground. And as he does so, he kind of like... We find maybe a panel or something. Artemis's things open and we input some controls into the panel. And then the floor kind of like opens up, revealing staircases going down into what appears to be some kind of deep base underground, you know, very nothing like this part above. It seems to be much more, what would it be, you know, how would it be, you know, like very bare, very Spartan, very dark, barely a few lights, and it just seems to go down. And Artemis and Faye looks down at the entrance, and Artemis says, "This is a bad idea." And Faye goes, "Yeah, well, we don't have any better ones. Come on, let's go." And we head down, deep, into the depths below. But of course, we are already, all alarms have been set off. Everyone is chasing us. This is gonna be tough. So, we are moving with speed. We are going... Let's think about what oracles we can use here. I'm gonna say that... Yeah, this continues to be a derelict. Let's just go ahead and continue rolling with the same stuff. And we'll see what happens here. Or, maybe let's make it interesting. And we can go with a vault. So, we can... Let's see if we can roll on some interesting tables here. Just 1 second. Outer first look. Now, let's just continue. I should have done my research, but I didn't expect this to happen. So let's just continue with some other stuff. Actually, let me just pause for a second. Okay, yeah, I decided I'm going to go with the vault. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's undertake an expedition with edge. It's a strong hit. All right. So mark 1 progress box. We're not doing well. Let's go ahead and first see. Let's collapse all these tables. Let's go ahead and see. Let's roll on some tables. Material, outer metallic, yes. Embedded within terrain, yes, exactly all the things we said. Now the first look, excessive heat. Yeah, immediately as we walk in, some alarms start sounding on Artemis's scans. The temperature's really hot. Immediately Faye starts sweating after a little bit. We cannot exit our mech for too long because of the temperatures. And even so, the temperatures are so high that if we stay here too long, we will get cooked inside our mech. For some reason. Maybe there is some kind of reactor in here. We don't know. But that is the first look. So let's go ahead and roll on a feature of where we are. Signs of an attack or battle. That's interesting. Okay, so we're not the first to get this far, and we can definitely see signs of gunfire on the walls as we're jumping, running down these staircases, these large tubes along the walls, all very industrial and bare. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. We gotta get there. Another strong hit. Things are going well. All right. Let's roll for another feature. Biological growths. I like that a lot. As we're going down deeper, we're just running through these corridors and down these staircases. as Artemis's scans kind of like are kind of mapping out the area, and we're just and Artemis says left, and we're just running down these metallic corridors, industrial metallic corridors, and we can see on the walls kind of like these weird growths appearing, like bulging things. Let's continue. This is going to be a long journey. It's a miss. You are waylaid by a crisis. All right, let's go ahead and roll a peril here. Mist or darkness conceals dangers. Okay, interesting. All right, so we said that it was kind of a little bit dark in here, very few lights, and we reach a section. We're running. Alarms, as we run down, the alarms that were sounding up have kind of faded in distance. Perhaps we're not being as chased as we thought. But suddenly we come to a section where the lights, some of the lights are broken. We begin to think to ourselves, perhaps this area was closed off for a reason? Interesting. Perhaps there's another access, an elevator perhaps somewhere else that the aliens use. Perhaps we're going through an old construction area that has been abandoned, and that would explain the biological growths. And as this happens, we stop in our tracks. And in the darkness, we can hear a kind of guttering, a guttural growling. And we see two eyes, two light blue eyes kind of shine in the darkness. There's some kind of creature in here with us. Now, my first instinct is going to be to try to hide from this creature. We don't have time to fight this. So we're going to make a quick face danger with Shadow. And maybe we don't find out right now what this creature is. Yes! Strong hit. So immediately, Mech, Artemis, we back up, and we put our back against the corridors we were in. And we hear the growling kind of disappear. And after a while, we get back and we don't see anything. But we are going to have to slow down. We can't just run through this area. So we're going to move with wits now, just to get past this dark area. It's a weak hit. All right. So face a peril at the waypoint. I think exactly we know what we're going to face. We know exactly what we're going to face. The thing that we were hiding from, as we hear a screeching sound of some kind of creature screaming. Alarms blare off in Artemis, and we just make a run for it. We don't even know what this creature looks like. We just hear its growling, something moving through the metal. We can hear it scream. We are going to get the hell out of here. We're not waiting to see what happens. We are going to run away, and we're going to use the ace asset. So we're just going to run away. Oops. Oh, wow. Strong hit with a match. Yes. That's 2 momentum. And yes, we vastly outrun this creature. We're running as fast as we can, jumping as fast as we can, and we have left whatever this creature was behind for now. All right. Phew. We can hear in the distance the screeching has gone far away. And Faye says something like, I wonder what kind of creature that was. And Artemis says, best not find out. Let's keep a move on. And let's keep a move on. We're moving with edge. Let's keep rolling with edge. Come on, come on, come on. Strong hit. This is going great. This is going great. I want to see if I can get to 6. If I can get to 6, I'm going to try rolling, and then it's going to be terrible. But hopefully it won't be. So let's go ahead and see where we are. Transition into the sanctum. I love that. All right, let's go to the sanctum. Oh. Its purpose. Manipulation of space-time. No, you know what? I saw one that I really liked here. Capture or control of other beings. I love that. So what we find out here is that they weren't only trying to control humans. They were trying to manipulate and mutate everything they could. And this was their original, like, kind of like base. And maybe things got out of control. Maybe they created something so horrible that they just locked it away here. And that would be interesting. Let's go ahead and roll a feature. Altered gravity. I like that. I like that. So we're in a room where kind of like there's like, for whatever reason, gravity is weaker or stronger. Let's ask the Oracle. Moves. Ask the Oracle. No, don't withstand damage. 50-50. Okay. Is the gravity weaker? Yes, it is weaker. For some reason, where we are now, the gravity is a little bit weaker, which kind of lets move a little bit like that, you know. And things here, lots of yeah, like it's lots of plants and nature and things overgrowth. That's kind of what I mean. And we definitely see lots of similar, like, stations similar to the ones above. Remember, this war has been going on for decades, right? So we see workstations similar to the ones above. And we begin to realize that perhaps what this is one of those giant drilling things. So these giant drilling things are like research stations built all in one. They delve deep into the ground, and then it's like a way of quickly establishing an underground base. So perhaps this whole thing is a just huge spaceship, and then the bottom part has been abandoned. And we are now in the sanctum. This is getting very interesting. All right, let's keep running. Let's keep going. No reason to be stealthy. It's a miss. You are waylaid by a crisis or arrive at a waypoint to confront an immediate hardship or threat. Let's see what the hardship or threat is. You are marked by physical corruption or mutation. I like that. I'm going to say that as we're running through, Faye suddenly feels a burning sensation coming from inside her. The mech suddenly stops as Faye lets go of the controls. Artemis goes like, Faye, are you okay? She retreats inside her head. This Artemis's voice kind of like feels distant, and she's clutching at her insides, and she's just screaming in pain. And we're gonna say that she takes 2 harm. And let's try to endure that harm. It's a miss with a match with double 10s. That's 3 misses in a match in a single game, and one of them is a miss with a match with double 10s. Oh my. We take another health damage. We can hear Artemis like panicking. You can hear panic in this AI's voice. Faye! As Faye just begins to scream, and we can see her face from above as she's just screaming, and we can see the structure of her face begin to just corrupt and change, with like holes appearing inside her face, just distorting her facial structure as if it was like lots of little connections and bridges of skin as a part of her face disappears and holes are inside, and she just lets out a blood-curdling scream towards the sky. And that is the end of our session. Oh, that was wonderful. That's amazing. I love that. I love miss with a match more than a strong hit with a match. I really, really like that. I'm not even gonna roll for a what's happening somewhere else. This was just a perfect ending. I love it. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I'll see you in the next episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and yeah. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.